Imagine your child comes home from school and says, "Someone kicked me in the, my thing." You pause, you ask, "What do you mean?" They whisper, "My pee-pee." Now you're left guessing. Was it their penis, their testicles, their stomach, their thigh? This is why naming body parts correctly matters. It's not just about anatomy, it's about clarity, confidence, and safety. Welcome back to Seeds of Tomorrow. Between ages 5 and 8, children are developing language skills, social awareness, and a deeper understanding of themselves. They're learning to describe the world and their bodies with precision. So when we avoid naming genitals properly, we're not protecting them, we're confusing them. Using correct terms like penis, vulva, testicles, vagina, buttocks, chest helps children speak clearly when something hurts or feels wrong. Report inappropriate behavior with confidence. Understand that all body parts are normal, not shameful. Children at this age are concrete thinkers. They take words literally. If we call a vulva a cookie, they'll associate it with food. If we say down there, they'll think it's a vague zone, not a specific part of their body. This vagueness can lead to confusion, embarrassment, and even vulnerability in unsafe situations. Studies show that children who know the correct names for their body parts are less likely to be targeted by abusers, more likely to report abuse accurately, more confident in setting boundaries. How to teach it naturally. You don't need a formal talk. You just need everyday moments. Here are some examples. During bath time, let's wash your vulva gently, just like we wash your arms and legs. During dressing, your underwear covers your penis and testicles. Those are private parts. During doctor visits, the doctor will check your chest and your genitals to make sure everything is healthy. Use the same tone you'd use for any other body part. No whispering, no giggling, no shame. If your child laughs or acts silly, that's okay. Stay calm. Repeat the word. Normalize it. What if they ask questions? Children are naturally curious. They might ask, "Why do boys have a penis and girls have a vulva? What's inside a vagina? Why do I have nipples if I'm a boy?"
This isn't about creating fear. It's about building trust in their own voice. When a child understands that their body belongs to them, they begin to develop a sense of agency. They learn that no is a complete sentence, that discomfort is worth speaking up about, that their feelings matter. Let's take a moment to visualize this. A 5-year-old is at a family gathering. An uncle jokingly tickles them and they say, "Stop." If that child has been taught about privacy and boundaries, they'll feel confident repeating that "stop" until it's respected. But if they've been taught to stay quiet, to be polite, or to ignore discomfort, that moment becomes a lesson in silence. We're not just teaching anatomy, we're teaching self-respect. And this foundation, naming the body and defining privacy, is what prepares children for the next, more nuanced lessons. How to recognize safe versus unsafe touch. How to say no with confidence. How to trust their instincts when something feels off. So let's keep building. Let's move from the basics to the real-life situations that children face every day.
Imagine your child is at a sleepover. They're brushing their teeth when another child walks into the bathroom and says, "Let's pee together." Your child freezes. They feel uncomfortable, but they don't know why. They haven't learned the language to say, "I need privacy." This is why teaching privacy isn't optional. It's foundational. Privacy means having control over your body, your space, and your choices. It means knowing when something is just for me. It means feeling safe to say no when someone crosses a line. For children, privacy starts with body privacy. Who can see or touch their body? It includes emotional privacy, what thoughts and feelings they choose to share. And it includes spatial privacy, having personal space at home, school, and public places. Children between the ages of 5 and 8 are developing autonomy and independence. They're learning social norms and peer dynamics. They're becoming aware of embarrassment, shame, and self-image. If we don't teach privacy intentionally, they'll learn it accidentally through confusion, discomfort, or even trauma. Children who understand privacy are more likely to set boundaries. They're less likely to be manipulated or abused, and they're more confident in social situations. Start with simple, clear language. Your body belongs to you. That means you get to decide who sees it, touches it, or talks about it. Use everyday routines. When you go potty, you close the door. That's called privacy. We change our clothes in private because our body is special. The doctor checks your private parts only with your permission, and I'm here with you. Normalize the idea that privacy is a right, not a privilege. One of the most effective tools for teaching body privacy is the underwear rule. It's simple. The parts of your body covered by underwear are private. No one should look at or touch them unless it's to keep you healthy, and only with your permission. Teach it like a mantra. Repeat it often. Use books, cartoons, or role play to reinforce it. If someone tries to touch your private parts, what do you say? I say no, I leave, and I tell a grown-up I trust. Children learn best through play. Use role play to practice boundary setting. I'm a friend who wants to tickle you. What do you say if you don't like it? Stop, I don't want to be tickled. I'm a cousin who wants to hug you. What do you say? No, thank you, I don't want a hug right now. I'm a teacher who asks you to keep a secret about touching. What do you do? I tell my mom or dad right away. Make it fun but serious. Let them practice saying no with confidence. Privacy isn't just physical. Children also need to learn emotional boundaries. Teach them they don't have to share everything they feel. They can say, I don't want to talk about it. They can choose who they trust. If someone asks you something that makes you uncomfortable, you can say, I'm not ready to talk about that. Help them identify safe adults, parents, teachers, school counselors, trusted relatives. Let them know they always have someone to talk to. Children learn privacy by watching how we respect theirs. Knock before entering their room. Ask before posting their photos online. Let them choose their clothes. Respect their secrets, unless safety is at risk. Say things like, I'm knocking because I respect your space. Can I give you a hug or would you prefer a high five? You don't have to tell me everything. I'm here when you're ready. This builds trust and teaches them to expect respect from others. Prepare them with a simple 3-step plan. Say no loudly and clearly. Leave the situation immediately. Tell a trusted adult. Reinforce that it's never their fault. They won't get in trouble for telling. You will always believe them. If anyone touches your private parts or asks you to keep a secret about your body, you tell me right away. I will always protect you. Children may giggle, hide, or avoid the topic. That's normal. Stay calm. Use humor when appropriate. Validate their feelings. It's okay to feel shy, but your body is nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone has private parts. That's what makes us human. You're allowed to say no, even to grown-ups. Teaching privacy isn't a one-time talk. It's a lifelong conversation. Start early. Repeat often. Model it daily. Because when your child understands privacy, they don't just protect their body. They protect their dignity, their voice, their future. Imagine your child is playing during recess. Another kid keeps poking them and laughing, saying, "It's just a joke." Your child feels uncomfortable but doesn't know what to say. They smile awkwardly. They stay silent. Inside, something doesn't feel right. This is why teaching boundaries isn't just helpful, it's essential. Children need to know what personal boundaries are, and more importantly, how to protect them. Boundaries are invisible lines that safeguard our body, our emotions, our time, and our space. For children, boundaries show up in simple ways: saying no to unwanted touch, refusing peer pressure, asking for personal space, and speaking up when someone's behavior feels wrong. Having boundaries isn't rude, it's respectful. It says, I matter. Children between the ages of 5 and 8 are learning how to navigate peer dynamics, understand social rules, and build self-esteem. If they don't learn how to set boundaries, they may become overly passive, struggle to say no, or feel unsafe in relationships. But children who know how to defend their boundaries are more resilient, less likely to be bullied, and more confident in their interactions. To help them, we need to give them language. Simple, powerful phrases they can use when someone crosses a line. If someone touches them without permission, they can say, "Stop, I don't like that." If a friend takes their toy, they can say, "That's mine, please give it back." If someone asks a personal question, they can say, "I don't want to talk about that." If a peer pressures them, they can say, "No thanks, I don't want to." If an adult makes them uncomfortable, they can say, "I need to go now," or "I want to tell my mom." Practice these phrases often. Make them part of everyday life. Role-playing is a great way to build confidence. Pretend to be a friend who wants to play rough and let your child say, "No, I don't like rough games." Pretend to be an adult who asks them to keep a secret about their body and let them say, "I don't keep secrets about my body, I'll tell my parents." Let them practice tone, posture, and eye contact. Celebrate their assertiveness. Assertiveness means speaking clearly, standing firm, and staying respectful. It's not yelling. It's not being mean. It's saying, "I have a voice and I will use it." Teach them that they can say no without being rude, that they can walk away from people who don't respect them, that they can ask for help when they feel unsafe. Daily affirmations help build this mindset. Say things like, "My body belongs to me. I can say no. I deserve respect." Children also need to learn how to recognize unsafe situations. If someone asks them to keep a secret about their body, that's a red flag. If someone touches them and says, "Don't tell anyone," that's a danger sign. If someone makes them feel scared, confused, or uncomfortable, they should trust that feeling. Teach them about the "uh-oh" feeling. If their tummy feels strange or their heart beats fast, or they want to run away, that's their body saying, "uh-oh," and they should listen to it. At home, model healthy boundaries. Respect their choices. Ask before touching. Knock before entering their room. Let them say no to hugs or kisses. Say things like, "You don't have to hug anyone if you don't want to. It's okay to say no, even to grown-ups. I'm proud of you for speaking up." Sometimes when children set boundaries, others push back. Teach them that it's okay if someone gets upset. They're not responsible for other people's feelings. They have the right to protect themselves. If someone says, "You're mean," they can respond, "I'm not mean. I'm taking care of myself." If someone violates their boundaries, they need a safety plan. Step 1. Say no loudly. Step 2. Leave the situation. Step 3. Tell a trusted adult. Reassure them. You will always believe them. They are never to blame. They are brave for speaking up. Boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges to healthy relationships. When your child learns to defend their boundaries, they're not just protecting themselves, they're building self-respect. They're learning empathy. They're becoming leaders. So keep practicing, keep modeling, keep trusting their voice, because every time they say no with confidence, they're saying yes to themselves. Let's explore how to teach children the difference between safe touch, unsafe touch, and confusing touch. Imagine your child is playing with a friend. They're laughing, chasing each other, and suddenly the friend grabs them in a way that feels off. Not painful, not violent, just wrong. Your child freezes. They don't know what to say. They don't know if it was okay or not. They don't know if they should tell you. This is why we must teach children not just about good and bad touch, but about the gray zone, the confusing moments, the ones that make them pause, because those are the moments that matter most. Why this lesson matters. Most children are taught that hugs from family are good and hitting is bad. But what about tickling that goes too far, or a kiss they didn't want, or a touch that feels strange but comes from someone they trust? If we only teach good and bad, we leave them unprepared for the middle, and that's where confusion and silence often live. Children need a framework that helps them trust their feelings. They need to know, if it feels wrong, it is wrong, even if you can't explain why. The 3 types of touch. Here's a simple way to break it down. Number 1, safe touch. This is touch that feels good, respectful, and wanted. Examples: a high five from a friend, a hug from a parent when they're sad, holding hands while crossing the street. Number 2, unsafe touch. This is touch that hurts, scares, or involves private parts without permission. Examples: hitting, kicking, or pushing, touching genitals or buttocks without consent, forcing a child to keep a secret about their body. Number 3, confusing touch. This is touch that doesn't clearly feel good or bad, but makes the child feel unsure. Examples: tickling that feels overwhelming, a hug they didn't want, a kiss from someone they don't know well. Teach them, if a touch makes you feel weird, scared, or unsure, you can say no. You can leave. You can tell me how to talk about it. Use simple, clear language. Avoid metaphors or vague terms. Say things like, your body belongs to you. You get to decide who touches it. Even if someone is nice, they still need your permission. If someone touches your private parts, that's not okay. You can say no and tell me. Repeat these messages often. Make them part of daily life. Role-playing scenarios. Practice makes confidence. Use pretend play to help your child respond in real situations. Scenario 1. You pretend to be a friend who tickles too much. Your child says, "Stop, I don't like that." Scenario 2. You pretend to be a relative who wants a kiss. Your child says, "No thank you, I don't want a kiss." Scenario 3. You pretend to be someone who says, "Don't tell anyone I touched you." Your child says, "I'm telling my mom. I don't keep secrets about my body." Let them practice tone, posture, and eye contact. Praise them for speaking up. Teaching the uh-oh feeling. Children may not always have the words, but they do have instincts. Teach them to recognize the uh-oh feeling. A tight tummy, a fast heartbeat, wanting to run away, feeling frozen or confused. Say, if your body gives you an uh-oh feeling, listen to it. That's your body's way of protecting you. What to do if something happens. Give them a clear, simple plan. 1. Say no loudly and firmly. 2. Leave the situation immediately. 3. Tell a trusted adult as soon as possible. Reassure them. You will always believe them. They are never to blame. They are brave for speaking up. Say, if anyone touches you in a way that feels wrong, you tell me. I will protect you. Handling their reactions. Children may giggle, act silly, or avoid the topic. That's normal. Stay calm. Keep the tone light but serious. Validate their feelings. Say, it's okay to feel shy, but your body is important, and you deserve to feel safe. Final thoughts. This isn't about scaring children. It's about empowering them. It's about giving them tools to navigate the world with confidence. It's about teaching them that their body, their feelings, and their voice matter. Because when a child knows how to recognize and respond to unsafe or confusing touch, they're not just protected, they're prepared, they're strong, they're free. Now that your child understands how to respond to touch, let's move into one of the most common and powerful questions they ask. Where did I come from? How do we answer that with honesty, simplicity, and emotional safety? Now that your child understands how to respond to touch, let's move into one of the most common and powerful questions they ask. Where did I come from? How do we answer that with honesty, simplicity, and emotional safety? Let's explore it together. Shall we begin? Children between the ages of 5 and 8 are naturally curious. They're learning how the world works, how people relate, and how life begins. And at some point, often unexpectedly, they'll look up and ask, how was I born? Did I grow in your tummy? Did I come out of your belly button? Do boys have babies too? These questions aren't just biological. They're emotional. They're about identity, belonging, and trust. And how we respond shapes not just what they know, but how safe they feel asking. When a child asks where they came from, they're not asking for a medical lecture. They're asking for connection. They want to understand their place in the world. They want to know how they were created, how they were loved, and how they arrived. If we respond with discomfort, avoidance, or vague answers, we send a message. This topic is weird. This question is too much. You shouldn't ask that. But if we respond with calm, clarity, and warmth, we say, you're safe here. Your questions are welcome. You deserve to know. You don't need diagrams. You don't need to explain intercourse or anatomy in detail. You just need to offer age-appropriate truth. Here's a simple way to explain. You grew inside a special part of my body called the uterus. When you were ready, you came out through a special opening called the vagina. That's how babies are born. If your child asks more, you can add, babies are made when a tiny cell from a man called a sperm joins with a tiny cell from a woman called an egg. They come together and start growing into a baby inside the uterus. That's it. Simple, true, enough. Handling follow-up questions. Children may ask, how did the sperm get to the egg? Can two men have a baby? Did it hurt when I came out? Was I planned? Answer what you can. Be honest. And if you don't know or aren't ready, say, that's a great question. Let me think about how to explain it best. You're not expected to have perfect answers. You're expected to be present. Avoid using metaphors like the stork or magic. Avoid saying, you came from my belly button, or you were found in a basket. These stories may seem harmless, but they create confusion and sometimes fear when the truth eventually comes out. Instead, trust your child's ability to handle reality. They're stronger than we think. And when truth is delivered with love, it builds trust, not anxiety. If your child was adopted, born via surrogate, or conceived through IVF, you can still answer with honesty and warmth. Example: you didn't grow in my body, but you grew in my heart. Another person helped bring you into the world, and I'm so grateful you're mine. Or, you were born with the help of doctors and science. It was a special way to make sure you could come into our family. The goal is not to explain everything. It's to affirm their story, to make them feel proud, not puzzled. Let your child know they can ask anything. You won't laugh, shame, or shut them down. You'll always answer with love. Say things like, I love when you ask questions. Your curiosity is amazing. You can always talk to me about anything. Because when a child feels safe asking, they'll keep asking. And that's how we build lifelong communication. Answering, where did I come from? Isn't about giving facts, it's about giving connection. It's about showing your child that their story is beautiful, their body is normal, and their questions are welcome. So speak simply, speak kindly, speak truth. Because every time you do, you're not just teaching biology, you're teaching trust. Now that your child understands how life begins, let's explore how to keep that life safe by teaching them the difference between secrets and surprises, and what to do when someone asks them to keep something hidden. Now that your child understands how life begins, Let's explore something just as important: how to protect that life, how to recognize when something feels wrong, and how to respond when someone says, "Don't tell anyone." This is where we teach the difference between secrets and surprises. Secrets versus surprises. What's the difference? Children often hear both words used interchangeably, but they're not the same. A surprise is something joyful that will be revealed soon. A birthday party, a gift, a fun plan. A secret, on the other hand, is something hidden, often indefinitely. And sometimes it's used to control, confuse, or harm. Here's how to explain it to your child. A surprise is something happy that we'll share soon. A secret is something someone tells you to never tell. If someone says, "Don't tell your parents," that's not okay. You can always tell me anything. Children who understand the difference between secrets and surprises are more likely to speak up when something feels wrong. They learn. Their voice matters. Their safety matters. Their parents are allies, not obstacles. This simple distinction can prevent abuse. It can protect innocence. It can save lives. We don't keep secrets in our family. If someone says, "Don't tell," you can always tell me. Even if you're scared, I'll listen and help. You'll never be in trouble for telling the truth. Repeat these often. Make them part of your family's language. Because repetition builds safety. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Your child doesn't need encyclopedias. They need your eyes, your voice, your calm. When you answer their questions with honesty and warmth, you're not just educating, you're building a lifelong bond. One rooted in trust, truth, and love. Thank you for growing with us. If this video helped you feel more confident as a parent, if it gave you language, clarity, or courage, then consider subscribing to Seeds of Tomorrow. Here we explore parenting psychology, emotional resilience, and the wisdom of philosophy, one gentle step at a time. Subscribe, share, and stay connected, because every child deserves a parent who listens, and every parent deserves a guide who cares. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep planting seeds of tomorrow.